Hi everyone, I'm Makala Barton. I'm the tourism manager for Visit Broken Arrow, and I'm joined here today with Councilor Lisa Ford, who's also a Visit Broken Arrow board member. So we're here today to just talk about things that have been happening with Visit Broken Arrow lately. Why don't you just tell us, or start off by telling us just about the Visit Broken Arrow board and kind of how that works?
Okay, so it's a completely volunteer board, and I sit on the board on behalf of the councilors. I'm the council designee, I guess. So that's why we have one city councilor on there. I don't have any more power than any of the rest of them. We all have one vote. I like it because the way that it's set up, because each councilor picks someone. Like I typically pick someone from my ward then to represent my ward on the panel, and that's how the other counselors do, I feel like, as well. But we also have, we have business leaders and that are in the entertainment business as well. So we have a very diverse crowd, definitely a board. We have a very diverse board.
Yeah, I've been really happy with our board lately. We have great engagement, and they all seem to be happy to be there and interested in what we're doing. So It's been really great.
Some of us talk a little more than others, but it's good. It's a great board for sure.
Yeah, great. Well, why don't, before we get started talking about the meeting yesterday, can you just talk about how Visit Broken Arrow is funded differently than maybe some of the other city departments and what makes it different than some of the others?
So Visit Broken Arrow is funded entirely by the City of Broken Arrow's 4% hotel motel occupancy tax. It's one of the lowest taxes, the rates in the state, which is collected exclusively from visitors staying in our local hotels. So it's not our citizens' money unless they stay in a hotel. It's our visitors that come and pay that 4%.
Yeah, we get asked that question a lot, so I like to always kind of reiterate that this tax is generated completely by people that stay in our hotels. So we have about 10 hotels in Broken Arrow, and just those 10 hotels generate the money that we use then to go out and market our city and make that multiply. So
yes. Yeah. And of course, if we have people from out of town staying in our hotels, they're also going to have to eat in our restaurants, and they're also going to have to purchase things while they're here. So it's a big economic driver. Just the whole tourism industry itself is a whole economic driver for our city, because we live on sales tax. Yeah. So anytime we can generate more sales tax, it's good for all of our citizens.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the meeting yesterday. It was a special meeting because we had several things that came up that were kind of time sensitive, so it was an exciting meeting. First of all, we should talk about the awards that we recently were recognized for. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about those awards that we won? So
I was excited when you and Aaron presented them to us, because I didn't have any idea that you all, I feel like, I don't want to say we won the awards, because it's a whole group of people, but definitely you and Aaron are the leaders in that group for sure. So we got 2 Redbud Awards that we have on display here. This year we earned Merit Awards for both our media coverage of Christmas in Broken Arrow and our marketing campaign featuring Bullseye. It's a familiar face to many of you, because if you go to the airport and you're there getting your luggage, there's a big mural of Bullseye.
Yes.
And the fun thing that definitely the counselors and our city manager like to do is take selfies with Bullseye in the big mural. But now I'm seeing our citizens do it as well. Yeah. So I love it. So if you're at the airport, make sure you get a selfie with Bullseye and tag us there. So.
I know. I've thought about collecting all of those and getting a compilation of everyone taking their selfies at the airport with them. So
that was pretty exciting. That was a pretty bold move. That's something that I feel like we haven't done before. I feel like we're getting into our big boy or big girl pants. It's like, wow, we have advertisement at the airport. You know, and one thing too is there's a QR code on that on the bulletin board or whatever, on the big, mural that we have at the airport, that you can get a free Uber ride from the airport to one of our Broken Arrow hotels. For those of our citizens that have family members coming in to visit them, make sure you let them know that, hey, I don't have to pick you up at the airport. You can catch a free Uber, just, to get on that QR code. And as long as they're staying in a Broken Arrow hotel, we won't take them to their house. But if they stay in a Broken Arrow hotel, it's free.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of positive feedback about that program. Just the other day, one of our business owners was saying that they chose to have their wedding stay in Broken Arrow because of the free transportation. So just these little things add up.
Those little things add up.
Broken Arrow a great place to stay. So
yes.
We're very excited about those awards. I think Erin's doing a press release on that today. So she worked very hard, Christmas in Broken Arrow. The media coverage is huge, and I know she was running all over the place. It's growing every single year. So we were very proud of that. And the bullseye, of course, we love that. So we're going to continue advertising him.
And I feel like the Christmas in Broken Arrow, that whole campaign makes us still feel like a small city. But then we have the Bullseye campaign that makes us feel like a big city. So I think both of those are very important to our quality of life. I mean, and I'm a big proponent of quality of life for our city and our citizens. So our Christmas, you can't beat Christmas in Broken Arrow.
No, and it just keeps getting better every year.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got some exciting things for this year coming up, but we'll talk about that another day.
Okay.
General business updates from the meeting yesterday. So we had a representative from Oklahoma Wesleyan University in Bartlesville come in. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So they have, from my understanding how his presentation went, is they've kind of outgrown the facilities to where they are now in Bartlesville. And so they're looking for a new facility. So Broken Arrow, the Broken Arrow Public Schools has the event center, and it was a perfect place for them to host their tournament. I mean, we don't want to steal things from other cities, but sometimes, we have accommodations that other cities don't, that's intentional. So he did do a proposal, and he did ask for money. And I like how we're set up in our tourism board, where there's checks and balances. So he may ask for money, but it's like a reimbursement. So he has to prove how many people stay in our hotels for this event for him to get the reimbursement.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important. The transparency piece on that is to have checks and balances. It's like, well, we're not going to give you money till it happens, but then we'll reimburse you for it.
Yeah.
So
I love our rebate. There's not a lot of other cities, since I started working in Oklahoma, there's not a lot of other cities, if any, that do it how we do. It's very, the $500 for every 12 room nights. It's very fair. It's standard, and everybody kind of gets the same. They have to provide the same information for us. So it's just a little boost for those events that may not have otherwise thought to come here, or may have gone to Tulsa, or may have gone another part of the state. So I love our rebate and just how it seems to help, just a little extra help to attract those events. So I'm excited to have this wrestling tournament in town. I'm sure we're going to see wrestlers all over those days. It's in December sometime, so excited about that one. Along the same lines, but a little bit different and very exciting, is we received our first film incentive application.
Yes.
So if you remember, we the board and council approved the film incentive back in February, and it's the third largest film incentive, second largest municipal film incentive in the state of Oklahoma. And so we're the second only to Oklahoma City. They have a $3 million incentive, which is huge.
Yeah.
And ours is $100,000. So we, I know we just wanted to make sure that we were, thanks to you and your support and your comments about it. Just wanted to make sure that we were on the same playing field as other cities in Oklahoma. So we got our first application. If you want to talk a little bit about that rebate request yesterday.
Yeah, and I'll do a little bit of background too. So we were the second city in Oklahoma to be certified as a film-friendly city. That was several years ago. Like I don't even know how many years ago, but it was several years ago. And then I felt like we were certified, but then I got on council and I was like, I didn't know what else we were doing with that certification. And I went to a conference, Oklahoma Municipal League Conference. And since I was on the tourism board, I just went ahead and decided, I'm going to take some classes. And so there were 2 different classes on films, like how it helped these cities in Oklahoma and the economic impact of that. And I was like, maybe we need to do more. Like, I'm going to find out what are we doing with our film-friendly certification, that type of thing. So I think that kind of like reignited the conversation on the film industry. And yes, this film incentive, it is big. And that's exactly why he said he picked us, is because of our film incentive, which again comes from the tourism money and not from the city budget. Right. So I think that's important for people to know as well. And we are film friendly, but I mean, I'm really hoping in the future that you'll see maybe game shows hosted here year round.
Yeah.
So I think he said he's going to be here for like a month or so. He's got like 90 actors, and how many hotel rooms did he say he was going to?
Over 500.
Yeah, like over 500 hotel rooms, which then those people have to eat, and then they have to get incidentals and that type of thing. Yeah. And so again, we have the checks and balances. It's a reimbursement program. So once he has to buy the things in Broken Arrow, he has to stay in Broken Arrow, he has to purchase whatever he wants rebated in Broken Arrow. And then I think it's like a 10% rebate is what he gets back. But again, it's checks and balances, and we don't upfront the money hoping it's going to happen. It's like, I feel like that makes them have a little more skin in the game too, to get some money back. So I think it's set up, honestly, I think it's set up perfectly. So
yeah, this is a great first example of exactly what we were wanting when we implemented this. For example, they're going to spend, I think their numbers were around $400,000 to $500,000 just in spending. So they have, they're going to be ordering catering. They're going to be, of course, staying in our hotels. They have to order supplies for like construction supplies from Lowe's and other places, and then so they get the 10% back on that $400,000 to $500,000. But then what makes it even cooler is that there's kind of a ripple effect. So that's what generates, this estimated economic impact of between $800 and $1 million
to our city.
Yeah,
which is sales tax, which is how we fund our police, how we fund our fire, how we fund our the trash people and all the things, filling potholes, all the things. And so yes, I'm so excited about it. I mean, it's a big deal. And and if I remember right, he even said, I think the title may be something about Golden Arrow and not Broken Arrow. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
He said they changed it to Golden Arrow. So I'm excited to see like where, they're going to be mainly up at Stony Creek filming, but I think they'll be driving around town a little bit. And so I'm really excited to see it. And that the same organization said they're already considering using Broken Arrow for their next film. So it just,
he was pretty excited about the partnership for sure. Yeah. I liked his presentation.
Yeah. So that one that was approved by the Visit Broken Arrow Board, and it'll be on the next City Council agenda for final approval. So very excited about that.
Yeah, we are excited.
The last item that was on the agenda was for Scotfest. So we've been a partner, the city's been a partner with them for several years. And so it's been an annual event, and they came back to Visit Broken Arrow to just kind of talk about their event and to get approval for some assistance in their event costs as well. So.
Yes. And we call this a signature event for the city of Broken Arrow. And I thought that was interesting. I'm like, what makes a signature event? And it's a unique event. This is one of the few events that you have to pay for to enter. Like when we have like Rooster Days, you don't have to pay unless you're riding rides or having food. Taste of Summer, you do have to pay even if you're not gonna eat ice cream or whatever. But for the most part, like our party at New Orleans Square, it's free to our public because again, it's like a quality of life issue, and and like the Tuesdays in the Park, those are free. Of course, the city, we sponsor it, but it's put on by Arts 302. But this is unique where there is a cost to get in, and this is what we spend the most money. This event we spend the most money on as well. And they've had there's been some challenges because they used to be at the events park, and then we had to switch them to Central Park because of the amphitheater. They'll return I think 2026 back to the events park, but this was a big lift, is even what another board member said, is like, this is a big lift he felt like for, our volunteer board, and thought it was important for maybe a lot of this need to go back to city council for that approval because it's quite a bit of money that we put into this event. Yeah.
Well, I think the Visit Broken Arrow Board gave some good recommendations that'll then go back to council. And so that will also be on the next agenda for city council to make a final.
Yeah. And I don't know if anyone's ever attended. I've attended it. It's a great event. Yeah. I mean, it's very unique. So we definitely want to keep them here in Broken Arrow. Yeah. But we also, again, have to be, we have to use our money the best we can use it. So that's why I think we send it back to council. So the whole council can decide.
Perfect. Great. Looking forward to that. All right. Well, that was pretty much what our meeting or what we had on our meeting yesterday. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I just want to say what a good job everybody did, all city departments, for our block party in New Orleans Square. I know we have a small piece of it. We, as in the tourism piece, we pay for the fireworks. And the fireworks are great. It's like there was little pauses. So we were like, oh, because it was such a good, and then there was more. And then there was more. That was 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. I have gotten so much positive feedback from our citizens on what a great time they had with their families. And that's why they love Broken Arrow. And again, I think events like that makes our city still feel small, but there were tons of people there. And of course, Brian, they spend a lot of money on the entertainment and different things too, and hosting, and Water's Edge, actually the Rose District, but he also owns the event center out in that area. He really runs the big part of it. What I like about New Orleans Square, but the block party, is we had so many different city departments out there. Like you could look at the trash truck or the recycle truck, or you could look at the street department's truck. You could get up there in the seat. And of course, police and fire, you see them a lot out in our community. But it's great to see the other departments out and being able to show off their stuff, because they're really proud. They're really proud to work for Broken Arrow.
I was set up at a booth over there, and I saw a little 2-year-old, and he was like, an excavator. There was, I guess it would call it excavator. I don't know, but he saw that out there. So when else would he get a chance to get up in one of those? So it was really fun.
It was,
and that's another event that just keeps getting better every year. So
yes.
All right. Well, that about sums up what we talked about yesterday at our meeting. Thank you all for listening, and tune in next month when we talk more about what's going on in Broken Arrow.
And I want to remind you too to go to our website, visit baok.com. We have a visitor's guide on there, and it tells you all kinds of fun activities that you can do around our city. So even though you live in Broken Arrow, you may not know what we've got to offer. So check it out. And if you have visitors coming too, make sure they check it out.